In the realm of spiritual exploration and esoteric studies, there's a figure who stands at the intersection of light and darkness, seduction and damnation, knowledge and deception. I'm talking about none other than Lucifer. Now, Lucifer is a complex, enigmatic figure whose presence raises profound questions. What is his nature? Where does he come from? And what is the true extent of his powers and influence? Is he a literal entity traversing dimensions to whisper doubt into human hearts? Or is he a symbolic force, an archetype of defiance and desire capable of infiltrating not just spiritual dimensions, but psychological landscapes as well? Many claim to have felt his presence, a heavy aura, a seductive pull, a shadow in the room. Others speak of dreams, visions, or altered states where Lucifer appears not as a monster, but as a guide, a challenger, or even a liberator. These encounters raise profound questions. Are they hallucinations, energetic intrusions, or mirrors reflecting the deepest recesses of the self? Let's take a moment to look into what many people say about their experiences with Lucifer. First off, let's talk about those who claim to have encountered Lucifer. Now, these experiences are deeply personal and vary widely. Some say they met him in dreams or visions, while others encountered him in altered states of consciousness. Some experienced a sudden shift in energy, a heavy, oppressive feeling that seemed to fill the room. Others felt a seductive, almost hypnotic pull towards something or someone unseen. A few even reported physical sensations like goosebumps, chills, or an inexplicable urge to flee. These accounts, while subjective, paint a picture of an encounter that is both unsettling and magnetic. It's as though there's an undeniable allure to Lucifer's presence, a curiosity that compels one to confront the darkness head-on. What is it about his presence that holds such sway over the human psyche? Is it the promise of forbidden knowledge, the fear of the unknown, or perhaps the fascination with the duality of good and evil that resides within us all? Whatever the reason, these encounters suggest that Lucifer's influence is not merely external. He seems to emerge from the depths of our own subconscious, mirroring our desires, fears, and unresolved traumas. It's as if he acts as a catalyst, bringing to the surface that which has been buried deep within. Another fascinating aspect of Lucifer's presence is the array of forms he is said to inhabit. Some have described him as a serpent, slithering and seductive, tempting one towards forbidden knowledge. Others have seen him as a child, beautiful and innocent, representing the corruption of purity or the revelation of truth through unexpected means. There are those who have encountered him as a dragon, powerful and terrifying, symbolizing the unleashing of primal forces or the arduous journey through chaos to enlightenment. And some have gazed upon his radiant form, a being of pure light and unimaginable power, representing the heights of spiritual attainment or the blinding brilliance of forbidden wisdom. This fluidity of form suggests that Lucifer adapts to the vulnerabilities and biases of those he encounters, exploiting their desires and fears to gain a foothold. It's as if he were a shapeshifter, able to blend seamlessly into any realm or psyche, leaving one to question the authenticity of their perceptions and the very nature of reality itself. Now, let us dive into a topic that adds another layer of complexity to the enigma of Lucifer's presence: susceptibility. What makes certain individuals more vulnerable to his influence? Is it a matter of weakened defenses or a lack of faith? The answer, as with many things related to Lucifer, is not so straightforward. Susceptibility, in essence, is a state of openness, a permeability of boundaries where external energies or entities can more easily enter. But what determines when this openness becomes a liability? When does susceptibility transform from a gateway to spiritual growth into a conduit for deception or possession? The answer lies in the delicate balance of our psychological and energetic defenses. Our minds and bodies are like fortresses, constantly bombarded by external forces. Normally, we maintain a healthy equilibrium, managing to keep the unwanted at bay. But what happens when these barriers weaken? Perhaps it's a moment of intense emotional turmoil, a wound left unresolved, a trauma that lingers in the subconscious, a profound sense of loneliness or a desperate yearning for meaning and connection. These are the cracks in our armor, the openings through which Lucifer and his ilk may exploit. Susceptibility is not a sign of weakness, but a state of exposure. It's akin to having a shield that's lost its luster, a sword that's dulled with disuse. The fortress becomes vulnerable not because of its inherent fragility, but because of the neglect or depletion of its protective resources. When this happens, Lucifer presents himself not necessarily as a malevolent force, but as an opportunist. He senses the weakness in the fortress walls and takes advantage of it to plant his flag, to influence, manipulate, or even possess. This exploitation is not always malicious, though. Sometimes Lucifer's intrusion acts as a catalyst, a shock to the system that jolts one into action, propelling them towards healing, growth, or change. However, more often than not, susceptibility leaves one fragmented, confused, and disempowered. It's a perilous state where one becomes a pawn in a game they don't fully understand, a vessel for forces that neither seek nor care for their well-being. The true danger of susceptibility lies not in Lucifer himself, but in the state it leaves us in. It's a cautionary tale reminding us that our defenses, both psychological and energetic, require constant upkeep, that our vulnerabilities can be exploited, and that true power comes not from ignoring our wounds, but from tending to them. Speaking of wounds, let us discuss those moments when Lucifer seems to target individuals who are grappling with emotional scars or spiritual emptiness. These are moments when the fortress walls are crumbling, when the guards are weary and the gate is left ajar. It is as if Lucifer has an uncanny ability to sense these moments of vulnerability and strike when defenses are low. But why would he single out those in pain or disillusionment? What advantage does it give him to exploit the broken and the lost? The answer, as with much of Lucifer's enigmatic nature, is multifaceted. On one hand, it reflects a grim truth about human nature. We tend to seek solace in the darkness when we are lost. We are willing to make deals with the devil when the path ahead seems too daunting. We bargain for answers in the abyss when traditional sources of light fail us. For Lucifer, these moments of desperation are like open invitations, a siren's call that beckons him closer. He capitalizes on our emotional turmoil, offering false comfort and insidious promises that only deepen our torment. On the other hand, Lucifer's targeting of the vulnerable reflects a perverse sort of mercy. By preying on the broken, he offers them a way out, albeit a deceptive one. He provides a temporary escape from the pain of existence, a momentary distraction from the arduous journey of healing and growth. It's a twisted form of compassion, a misguided attempt to alleviate suffering by plunging one into a labyrinth of darkness, rather than guiding them towards the light. This duality in Lucifer's behavior is what makes him such a compelling and terrifying figure. He is the embodiment of both the worst and the misguided best of humanity. His actions are driven by self-interest, yet they often result in unintended consequences that both harm and help. He is the catalyst for